I'm Tyler.
I'm Shorty.
I'm Ava.
And welcome
to the Inner Idiot.
This podcast contains graphic language, violence, and other things that you probably should not let your children listen to. Please enjoy.
That's right. You hear the music. Put your ugly kids to bed. Set the deuce loose. You know what time it is. It's time to get a little on you. Welcome to the Inner Idiot. I am your host, Tyler Havlin. You know, it's a shame I never get a cool intro like you, Shorty. It's a shame.
You did the whole, Tub Norris and whatever the hell it was last time.
But the mustache is gone.
Huh?
Who am I without the mustache? That's what we need to figure out.
You have and always will be, Tyler.
Well, I guess. Well, you hear him, my lovely co-host, the Lord that's never bored, the commander of the comic books. He's actually got a shirt on today, ladies.
It's chilly outside.
It is chilly outside. 2 claps and Ric Flair for Lord Shorty Hoffman. Woo!
Yay, here I am. I'm awake.
Barely? Did you get any sleep today?
No, I slept a lot, dude. I had a hell of a I almost said hangover.
Yeah,
no, that is not accurate. I don't drink. Headache. I had a hell of a migraine last night, dude. It was terrible.
Maybe that's why you dreamt of being a superhero.
No, I had a superpower. I wasn't a superhero.
Oh, okay.
But people were paying me to use it.
So what is that? Is that like a hero for hire type deal?
Basically, yeah.
Right.
Which I think is a thing.
All right.
Hero
Well,
for hire.
Here at the Inner Idiot, we believe in women's rights and left's for that matter. So we are proud to introduce. She is a jiu-jitsu gold medalist. She trains out of George Gurgel Center in Cincinnati.
Yeah. Oh, it was
I get it right?
Gurgel. Yeah.
Gurgel.
All right. She's part of the SAS team. SAS team?
SAS team.
SAS team. Please, 2 claps and Ric Flair for our guest today, Sarah the Predator Cook. Woo!
Hey guys, how are you doing? It's good to be here.
All right, so
the Predator, hold on real quick. The Predator, how did you get that nickname?
So, I stalk my opponents. So, it was one of those things.
Like on Facebook and shit or what?
No. In the cage. So, we have a big thing about you stare down the person across from you.
Mm-hmm.
No intimidation, just like fear, straight fear. I want them to be more than intimidated. I want them to fear me coming across. I want them to not want to step out of their corner. Mm-hmm. So I will stare them down across the cage, and I will walk back and forth. And I just make them my prey.
Flex and show it off. You know what I'm saying?
Predator for the prey.
All right.
We're going to hop into today's top 5, and then we'll get to the interview.
And I still don't have 5 of these things.
You don't?
No, I don't have 5.
Well, let Sarah start it off. All right. So today's top 5 is top 5 pet peeves.
Oh.
What you got for us, Sarah?
So you asked me this last night, and I sent it to you. You're like, wait, save it for the show. So my first one would definitely be like rude people. Like if you're just rude, straight up rude, I can't do it. God. He would probably say no to this, but chomping, like it does get to me. It gets to him so bad. Like he hates it. But it's annoying. I hate when people are like.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad when people got gum in and they want everybody around them to know that they're chewing gum.
I can't. Oh no. We'll see. Like high pitched screaming, that really gets to me.
So like when chicks see spiders and stuff.
Yeah, and they're like, I can't. Like, really, just squash it. It's not. I mean, he can't carry that much body weight. I mean,
right.
So, let's see. That's what, 3? What did I say before?
Squirrely newcomers?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's squirrely white belts. I can't, because they'll get you an arm bar, but it's wrong, and they're not hurting you to tap. They're just, it's annoying. And it's like straining on your tendons and stuff.
Sure.
And you're like, all right, this is pissing me off, so I'm just going to fix the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate when they're super squirrely and they grab onto you and they jerk you around, and I'm just like, calm down, chill. This is like a really chill sport.
Mm-hmm.
Chill, calm down. And then let's see. Last one would definitely be. Oh God, I don't even know. I know I sent them to you.
I can pull up your
It took
list.
me forever to like think of 5.
Really?
'Cause
Because
I
you sent
really-
that message back really quick.
I know.
She was probably irritated last night.
I probably.
Snoring.
Oh yeah, that's it. Snoring.
Oh God.
I can't.
Well,
I'm
that
not
sucks.
sleepy. I was probably sleepy when I was talking. Yeah. Snoring. I can't. Mm-mm. Nope.
Sean, right? Is that his name, Sean?
Yeah.
All right. So
Yep.
those of you who don't know, Sean's here with us. He's not on mic, but does Sean snore?
When he's super tired, yeah. And he always bitches because he can't get any sleep. Because I wake him up when he snores. He's like, I'm so tired. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I want to wake you up.
You would hate this house. Everybody that lives in it snores.
Yeah, I know Camden snores.
Yeah, and I snore too. So.
You look like a snorer.
Oh yeah.
You and Camden got some big noses. Them make some good snore sounds, I bet.
Yeah.
All right, you got your top 5 ready?
No, I don't have time. I have like 3. Most of mine are just work related, dude, because that's mostly what I do. But like, the few that I have, dude, I told Ty, I said I feel like such a dad writing this, and I don't have any kids. But like, the number 1, like straight off the bat, is leaving lights on. I don't like if somebody's in the room, I don't mind, but I will go behind everybody and turn off lights consistently. But I've been that way ever since I was a little kid. I don't like a lot of light, so I just turn them off. Let's see. The second one is comic books not being sleeved and left on the ground.
Oh.
Like if they're if they're on the ground or something like that, they're in a plastic bag, I don't mind. But I usually board and sleeve all my books as soon as I get them. Except for like today, like I'm out of sleeves, so I got to go get more. But one of my buddies, and I forget what the game is. I think it's like Borderlands or something like that. One of the achievements you get is like by picking up comic books that are left on the ground. So I went over to my buddy's house to play D&D, and there's a comic book laying on the ground, and I pick it up and I set it up on the
You
on
did
a
that
shelf.
at my house once.
I did. I picked it up and set it on a shelf, and I just and they're like, no, that belongs there. No, get it off the ground. And they're like, no, it belongs on the ground, shorty. I was like, okay. I literally left my buddy's house, came here, got a board and sleeve, went back to his place and put it in there for him, and then taped it and set it down. He was like, for real? I was like, no, I can't stand it. It irritates the hell out of me. And then like just rudely interrupting people pisses me off. Just like when they just immediately cut you off. No, stop it.
I do that to you at least
I
once an
know.
episode.
During the episode, it doesn't bother me nearly as much, but in just general conversation, it pisses me off to no extent. I can't do it.
Yeah, I have to do it to you during an episode. Our episodes would be 3 hours long.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And that's why I don't mind. Other than that, dude, I can't really think of anything.
So our top 5s, you're always going to talk about comic books, and I'm always going to talk about my hate of snakes. I've come to realize that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And your flatulence.
Yeah, my flatulence is nice though. I told you about my dream. I had a super powered flatulence in my dream last night. All right, well here's my top 5.
All right, let me hear it.
All right, this is post-pandemic masks. When somebody wears a mask and they don't cover their nose, I'm not for or against masks, but if you're gonna wear the motherfucker, put it over your nose, please, or else it defeats the purpose completely. Like and plus, like, I'm definitely gonna wear mine over my nose, and my number 1 reason to tell you why. But anyways, number 4 is snakes as pets. It makes no raw damn sense to me why you would have a snake for a pet. You can't cuddle with that motherfucker. I am sorry, there is a kid in the vicinity. Okay, all right, we're good. But you can't cuddle that motherfucker. It's gonna slither. If you do cuddle it, it's measuring you up to eat it. Look, I'm telling you. Look, let me ask you: do you like snakes?
No.
I hope Ava brings hers.
Exactly.
I
right?
hope Ava brings hers.
You
one
should
day.
not be able to run that goddamn fast without feet. I'm just saying. They're of the devil.
They don't run.
They run, goddammit. You ever tried to slither?
Huh?
It doesn't
no,
work.
we're not built to do it, stupid. God damn.
All right. Number 3, we got a couple health nuts in here, so I might catch some flack for this, but gluten-free. All right, most motherfuckers don't even know what the hell gluten is, but they're gluten-free. Like, you got one reason to be gluten-free. Either if you got celiac disease or a gluten fucking allergy, right?
Is that what the disease is? You can't tolerate gluten is celiac?
So, so my professor, Professor Fluffy, Dave Reeves. He's gluten free. And then
Is he fat? Just curious.
No, he's
no,
not.
no.
It's such an ironic name then. Sorry.
No, it's not. It's and then Coach Elena, she is also gluten free. So, but they both have allergies to it. So if they eat gluten, they will like die. So she, it's so funny that you say that because that gets on their nerves too. Because people, I'm not gonna name names, but people will bring in food. And they'll be like, or we'll go to fights and they'll be back there sitting and they'll be like, I made this for you. It's gluten free. And we all know it's not gluten because we look at it and it's got everything gluten in it. And we're like, dude, we can't eat that. I will die.
And a lot of people don't even know what gluten is. It's a binding protein. That's as much as I know that happens in the rising of yeast. Mm-hmm. Right?
So is it just yeast specifically? That's
Eggs, like eggs. I know they can't eat tortillas. Like I said, I'm not gonna name names, but they brought in a wrap to one of our fights and was like, "Hey, I made this for you. It's gluten free and it's a tortilla." And they're like,
right.
It's a flour tortilla. It's not gluten free." And we feel so bad because he works so hard on it, but like they can't eat it; they'll die.
I've ate gluten free bread one time, and it
just
tastes
sounds
like
retarded.
straight cardboard. Like cardboard with holes in it. It was nasty. But if you come to my house and you say, "Oh, I'm gluten free, sugar free, blah blah blah," like I'd be like, "Do you have celiacs?" And if they say no, I'm gonna be like, "Well, guess what? You get water."
It sounds like you're saying, "Do you have silly ass?"
Yeah, well, you are a silly ass if you don't have celiacs and you're gluten free. All right? Because let me tell you what, you ain't even getting ice in your water because guess what? Ice is binded by something. It may not be gluten, but you probably don't want that shit either.
Stupid.
God, I fucking hate gluten free. Drives me nuts. All right, number 2 is when you say, "Hey, what's up?" to somebody and they say, "Living the dream." I don't know what it is. It cuts right fucking through me, and I say it too. So we're just going to get past that. I'm working on it, people.
Oh, I just thought of another one.
What? Let's hear it before I get to number 1.
When, like, if a server says, like, is there anything else I can get you? And they're like, "Oh, $1 million."
Oh, God, yeah, that's annoying. But that's a dad response.
I don't give a shit what it is. It pisses me off to no extent. I get so annoyed. Because I used to work in customer service. And I was like, "Is there anything else I can do?" Like, "Oh, I could have $1 million." I'm like, like, yeah, if I had it. I wouldn't be working here, you piece of shit.
I sure as fuck wouldn't give it to you. All right, and my number 1 pet peeve is bad breath. And it's not having bad breath. Because some people... Yeah. Because some people have bad breath and they just can't help it. But look, if you can't help it...
So glad I brushed my teeth this morning.
You know you have bad breath, all right? You don't have to talk directly into my goddamn nose. All right, let me tell you what. They're holes. Exactly. These motherfuckers on the front of my face are for sniffing. Smell. I can't hear out this motherfucking nose, all right? I ain't got that power. These things on the side of my head, those are ear holes. Those are for sound, people. Talking to the ear hole, not the nose hole. If you got stanky breath, do something about it. Like, you might not be able to get rid of it. Maybe you got some goddamn halitosis. But make sure you're talking into the right fucking holes, people. All right? But I digress. That's our top 5.
Oh, man. Apparently, I watched her Instagram video.
Yeah.
Geeking out.
So, we're going to take a break, and we're going to make sure our breath don't stink. And then we're going to come back.
I already brushed my teeth this morning.
Did you? Mm-hmm. So did I. But
I have gum in, and you can't hear me chomping because it's a pet peeve, so.
That's right. We're going to come back, and it's going to be all about Sarah, people.
Yay!
Shorty, hit the button.
Okay.
You know, that one button? Hit it.
Is it red, Tyler?
I don't know. No,
It's
it's not red.
All right. Hey, Ty, if you wanted to make a podcast, how would you do it?
Spotify Podcasters app, of course. Or hell, even the website.
Do they have any way you can edit audio and help with organizing your episodes?
All that and more. You can reach out to listeners and have feedback with their Q&A feature, and it distributes it to all other major places you listen to podcasts.
I just looked, and they got a video podcast set up and editing tools here, too.
So all you got to do is sign up at SpotifyForPodcasters.com or get the app, and you're done.
Damn, it's just that easy.
Thank you for hitting the button.
You're
Because
welcome.
now the people know we're back.
Is that right?
Okay? Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay.
All right. And now it's time for the part you all came for. Sarah the Predator Cook. Tell us how you got your start in the sport.
So my dad is a brown belt in Taekwondo, and I wanted to follow in his footsteps. So I started super, super young, started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu,
You're good.
and then moved into Muay Thai. I wrestled in high school as well, so that was always a good portion of the journey as well.
Were you in high school in the Cincinnati area?
Yeah, I went to Talawanda High School. So that was always nice because having a nice ground base really built me up for this sport. I didn't know I was going to go into MMA when I was doing all this stuff at that young age. But it really did develop my cage skills. So it was super nice.
Nice. All right. So,
What are the tiers of belts? I've never understood it. I've never done any fighting, so I have
So-
no idea.
Jiu-Jitsu, when you start out as a kid, you get a white belt. And then everybody knows when you start as an adult, you get a white belt. So kids have like 5 or 6 more belts than adults do.
Sure.
Because they go from white to a white, and then they'll have, so it'll be like a gray belt with a little white stripe in it. Then they'll have a gray belt, and then they have a gray and black belt, and then it goes off to another color and another color, and they have so many more advances because they have that white stripe and then the black stripe in between, and then the solid. Where we have our white belt to our blue belt, and then it goes to a purple belt. Then we have our brown belt and our black belt. So it's way easier for adults.
So you said your dad's the one who got you into the sport, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
he stopped at brown belt?
Yeah. So he stopped at brown belt.
Is there a reason why?
He went into the army.
Oh,
So,
okay. I was just curious.
Yeah,
well, not
yeah.
just that, jiu-jitsu, the progression is it's much more of a grind than like your traditional karate or taekwondo. Like,
Don't know. Never done any actual fighting, so.
So, I'm not knocking the sport, but my son did taekwondo. And taekwondo and your karate stuff is more of a sporty sport base. It's not as much combat as like jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai would be. It definitely could be used for combat, things that are taught in it, but jiu-jitsu is way more hands-on and like you're physical with someone, and Muay Thai is the same way. The way we teach Muay Thai, we're very hands-on, punching in the face, kicking, knees, stuff like that. So
Jesus.
it's definitely combat sports.
dope. All right. Tell us about your first fight.
My first fight was for Premier is now was Absolute Action, and now Billy runs it as Premier. Billy took over, Billy Donovan, and he's running what is called Premier Fight Championships now. So I fought on an all-women's female card. Is for Fight for Breast Cancer.
Oh, so I was at your first fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a fight for breast cancer. We had some big names at that card. So that was an experience all in itself because, like you said, it was my first fight. So not only did I get in there with no knowledge of how it was going to feel or anything like that.
Were
but
you on a team at the time?
I was. I fought for Prodigy at that time. Kenny Warricks was my corner and my coach. And I went in. If I look at it now, I could say I went in unprepared. Because the way I prepare now was nothing like how I prepared before. So I definitely went in blindsided and just worked my way up each fight.
I mean, that's the best way to do it, really. I mean, learn as you go instead of coming in thinking you know everything. Mm-hmm. So, but that was one of the best live events I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And that was maybe their 4th show. I mean, so they were still in their infancy, and they put on a great show. And I hate that it's gone, but Turfway is such a good venue. It was an amazing venue. But yeah, I don't remember the results of those fights. I remember, let's see, who was there? Randy Couture's ex-wife was there. I can't remember her name. Cyborg was there. Mm-hmm. Jessamine Duke. Some fans might know that name.
Yeah. I fought Jessamine.
Did you?
Yeah, I fought her for a title defense. definitely shouldn't have happened. Definitely should not have fought her. But it was during my era of I don't turn fights down. So I definitely had to. I was fighting at 35, and I had to gain weight to fight her. So I felt miserable. I looked horrible. I did not prepare. I wasn't training. Like, it definitely should not have happened. It was one of those things where Billy did it to kind of knock my head down a little.
Yeah.
Because I had won a few fights, and then I got a title belt, so I was so young that I wasn't humble. And
Right.
I kind of got out of my humble stage and was like, yeah, nobody can beat me. I'm the best. And he was like, no. We're going to knock you down a couple levels. We're going to bring you back to earth here a little bit.
I got you.
So he did that to me, and it definitely humbled me out a lot.
Well, good.
And-
Good.
And luckily, it happened early in your career, right?
Oh, yeah, she crumbled me up like a pretzel and beat me down. Like, yeah.
I mean,
It was-
it's good to have those experiences early in your career. And the last fighter we had on actually talked about it too, because it shows you, it teaches you more about yourself than what goes on your record.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I feel like when you get to the point to where you're like, oh, yeah, nobody can beat me. I'm the best in the world. That's when it's your time to kind of be knocked down a little bit.
Sure.
To just remind yourself that I'm not invincible. I can be beat. I'm not a superhuman. There's somebody out there that's training harder than me. There's somebody out there that's pushing more. They're fighting more. And so they're going to beat me. It's just the day's going to come.
Right. That's a good mindset to have, though. Is like you'll never truly be number one. You know what I'm saying? And like, there's a difference in like believing that and then and continuously striving or allowing that thought to defeat you. Because I see a lot of people get in that mindset where like, oh man, I'll never be number one. They kind of like bring themselves down completely. Or they could be like, I will never be number one, but I'm going to continuously strive to be there. And like trying to have that level of like being humble is a good process to be at, a good mindset.
Yeah, definitely. So were you still with Prodigy at that time?
When I won my title belt, yes. And it's funny because George would see me at the fights and he'd be like, you need to come back to the gym. You need to come into the gym and train, because he would do that when like the corner that I had set up for me or the coach that I had set up wouldn't show up to the fights, or they'd be so late that it would either risk me not having a corner or me not fighting. The person that I took with me, like I said, I'm not going to name names, but the person that I took with me one fight actually got my fight canceled because he made me so late. And for one, a fighter shouldn't be picking up their coach. I'm sorry, but they should.
No.
Like, I shouldn't be picking up my coach.
Fighters shouldn't drive themselves to the fight.
No, I had cut weight. I was doing hard weight cuts at that time because I was fighting like once a month for Billy, if not twice a month. So, I would go down to Indiana and I would fight, and then I'd fight for Billy. So I was fighting 2-3 times a month, and Indiana wasn't sanctioned at that time, so they didn't have a regulation on you can't fight within 30 days of your last fight.
Right.
So I could go up there every weekend if I wanted to and fight. And so
Was that Hard Rock or
no, that was
Big Show?
no, that was for ICF, Indiana Cage Fighting. And I probably should have never done that to myself, but I did it, and I got a lot of experience off of it, which is nice. But he made me so late that the Kentucky Commission actually, they discontinued my fight. They cut me off the card. And Billy, and I'll never forget, Billy fought tooth and nail to get me back on that card. And because I was fighting Molly Dupertis, and she cut weight, and I felt horrible because we made weight. Now I'm showing up to a fight that I can't fight because my trainer made me 20 minutes late. That was 20 minutes after they gave fight rules. So I was over an hour late.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
You're supposed to show up to these things 2 hours ahead of time.
Right.
So
yeah.
missing the fight rules anyways is like a big no-no.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, Billy fought tooth and nail to get me back on that card, but it just didn't happen. So, and then we had a rematch. He obviously made a rematch for that, but had a rematch and got to fight that time. But it was then, I think when that happened, George was like, see, should have came to the gym. And so I finally made my way into George's. And I was like, this is where I need to be. It instantly was a home, like family. As soon as I came in, they treated me like family. They told me instantly, like, this is where I belong. I should have been here a long time ago. And still here over a decade later.
I mean, it's a good place. I mean, you get a lot of experience there. You get to meet some big names there, which, I mean, it sounds dumb, but usually the bigger the name, the more knowledge they have to pass on.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound dumb. That sounds completely accurate.
I mean, some people get starstruck by the names, though.
Well, I mean, sure, but I mean, like you being in possession, like if you're that name, you know what I'm saying? Like if somebody were to come to you and like, you know, say like me and you right now, like got big, right? Like as the Inner Idiot podcast, we got huge.
We're already huge, don't.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
I'm huge. I mean,
but
look
like
at me.
if somebody comes at us and asks us like our opinion, we have whatever knowledge we have coming from this to that. You know what I'm saying? The bigger name you have generally means the more like experience you have. Therefore, you have all that knowledge. Now, if you come in like what's that one dumbass from YouTube that's sort of fighting?
Jake Paul.
That guy.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like he has a huge name, but not because of fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Don't you talk about my Jake Paul?
Shut the hell up. But like he wouldn't have nearly as much knowledge on it than say somebody who's been doing it for, you know, 10 or 15 years. Fucking stop that, you weirdo. But that's what I'm saying is like, you know, just because their name is like most of the time because their name is huge, they would have a good influence on the medium and have the experience to like give you and that have all that knowledge to drive down on you.
Right.
So
So, what was the transition seamless between gyms? I mean, it sounds like it was for the most
It
part.
was like, I'm very loyal. So when I'm at a gym, I'm very loyal to that gym. That's why George asked me fight after fight after fight after fight to come in. I wasn't just like, oh wow, it's George Gurgel. And he's like, at the time, Zoila, his ex-wife, was one of my idols. Like, I watched her all the time fighting. She was Bellator's champion of the world for females. And I wasn't like, oh, well, Zoila's there. I get to go train with my idol. I wasn't like that. I was loyal to who I was with, and I was willing to give them chance after chance after chance to fix themselves and help me fix myself as a fighter. And then once that issue happened, I went over there, and it was just like that gym never existed anymore. It was so easy to come in and just start classes and just straight into everything. Like, Zoila treated me like family, Stephanie, George, everybody. Rich would come in, and, you know, and it's not like they weren't the type of fighters that had the big head, where they were like, oh, only my coaches roll with me. No, like, they rolled with everybody. White belts, Rich rolled with white belts, black belts, purple belts. People just walking in the door for trials, like, they didn't care. They're normal human beings, and that's how they treated life.
yeah.
So
Sounds like a great atmosphere you guys got up there.
it is. It's an amazing atmosphere.
I mean, it's one of the few teams that I personally haven't gone to check out in the area. But tell us about your favorite fight you've had, or the fight that's had the most impact on.
There we
you.
go. That's what I was gonna say.
The fight that, let's see. So everybody knows a title fight is huge. And, you know, I think I was so young to take all the essence from that and enjoy it like I should have and learn from it like I should have. I think the fight that really impacted me the most is my first fight back off my 7-year break, the one that I just had with Maya Stewart. Because it literally, I'm old enough now to learn from my losses and know how to learn from them and take them like a champ is supposed to take them. Rather than getting mad and upset, like, I literally take the time to be like, okay, well, this is what I did wrong. Let's fix it. And Professor Fluffy has done an amazing job. George has been doing a great job with getting us to come out of our losses and fix everything. Like, they specifically work on what we did wrong, so the next fight can be much easier. And Maya was an amazing opponent. I give props to Maya Stewart all day because she was in there. She's constantly known for smiling. Like, she smiled the entire fight. Every picture we have, she's smiling in it. And I'd hit her in the face, and it's like she'd smile bigger. And it kind of got me to the point where in my head I was like, man, this girl's a little bit crazy. So I'm going to have to bring out my little bit of crazy.
The moment she says, like, hit me harder, daddy, that's when you're like, oh, we need to back up a second.
Yeah. So, like, it was just an awesome experience. It's the first time in my life of fighting, and I have over 20 some fights under my belt, that I actually had fun. Like, I can literally say that I walked out with a smile on my face knowing that I lost instead of tears in my eyes. It hurt, and once I got to the back, I started crying, but I walked out smiling because I just had the most fun in my career that I've ever had. And she taught me a lot. Just to fight, just to love it while you're doing it.
So you mentioned a 7-year break. Tell us about that.
So I took 7 years out of the cage. I haven't, before I came back, I hadn't fought since 2013, I believe. I started training, and I wasn't getting as many fights as I wanted. So I took a break off of, like, reaching out and grabbing the fights. And I kind of started training myself and, like, working on my mental health in the fighting atmosphere. Then, of course, family life. I kind of took a break, of course, when I got pregnant with her, which that's a year and something.
Yeah.
So the year for being pregnant, and then I took 6 months to myself to try and, like, be there with her and do the at-home mom thing. And it just ended up adding up to where I was like, look, I need to get back. Like, I need to either do this or don't, because I have a shelf life. Like, you can dust the knickknacks off, but they're still going to be sitting on that shelf when you're done dusting them off, and they're not moving. Like, once I get put on my shelf, I'm done. Like, fighting has a shelf life, and I've got to get in while I can and make it as far as I can and hit my dreams before my shelf life is up. So that's what I did.
I mean, I hear a lot of people talk, like, because I'm not big in the sport. Like, I have no idea about any of this shit. Like, you and Jesse and, Tyler telling me everything that I know about it. Like, that's all I know. And I hear a lot of the guys at work, and Tyler even, talk about, like, their age has a huge thing to play into it. Because, like, not only, like, they're older makes them a little bit wiser in, the sport.
Yeah.
But, like, they're about to hit their shelf life or whatever, and, like, they're about to retire or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Listen, age does play. Like, I have never, ever in my career been knocked down from punches. Ever. And the last 2 fights, both of them, they hit me with a punch I didn't see. And, my coaches say it best. Like, it's the ones that hurt the most that you don't see.
Right.
And I didn't see them coming, and they hit me, and they flash knocked me out. And I come back to, and I'm on the ground. And I'm like, wait, how did I get here? Well, Maya let me back up. So I don't know if I had the mindset this last fight when I fought Diamond that she was going to let me back up and let me recoup. But when she knocked me down, I was like, all right, I got to get back up. And as I'm trying to get back up, she's coming down. And it was like, my mind was like, wait, hold on. Whoa,
I haven't stood up yet.
This is not right. We're not in the vertical position we're supposed to be in. But so I kind of just went out of it for a minute and was trying to still recoup while she was going to my back and choking me. But age does play a huge part of it, because I think it's because of my age that it was just so easy for them to just
Sure.
good night. But so, like I said, it's never happened to me before, and I'm like, man, we gotta get together.
Yeah. So what's next for Sarah?
So we're looking at fights right now. We were hoping for sometime in July for Billy. But we're just kind of going through the motions. We're looking at a couple fights for the end of July right now. Pro or amateur. So I'm looking to go pro. That's what we're looking to do.
Yeah, you have the experience.
Yeah, it's time for me to go pro. My biggest thing is, like, just doing everything I can and getting myself in the right training regimen, fighting as much as I can to kind of catch the eye of the UFC. That's my big goal. I just want to. So I have a goal of getting into the UFC and winning a title, and then my life will be complete. Like, that's it. I want to do it for her. I want to show her that no matter what, for my daughter, it's nothing is impossible.
Perfect. So you do mention the UFC, and you've also mentioned Rich. Now, Rich is actually the VP of One, right?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now that's an up and coming. Like, I hear nothing but great things about them.
Listen, that promotion is amazing. He is doing such an amazing job with that place. And it's not because I know Rich personally and I love him that I say that. It's because it really is. Like, these fighters that are coming in there are no slums. Like, they're good. Like, really, really good. And they know what they're doing. Like, they're coming in strong. They're coming in with experience. And, man, they're just going for it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I've heard that they treat their fighters amazing there.
Oh, yeah. Rich, being a fighter, knows what fighters want and what they don't. So I've never had the experience yet to experience what the fighters get to experience through there, but I would love to. But with just knowing who the owner is and knowing his experience, absolutely 100%, I know they're getting the royal treatment that they want.
Perfect. Awesome. All right, so one last thing is you are much more than a fighter. Let's hear about some of the things you got going on outside of the cage, because nobody wants to be looked at and be like, this isn't all I am.
Right. So, fighting is my passion, my life, my heart. But it doesn't define who I am. I have a family, I have kids. I myself have a 10-year-old son. He'll be 11 this year, and a 2-year-old daughter. And then with Sean together, we just have Serenity. But he also has 3 boys and a girl. So, and I
Full house.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm
is it
sorry.
plus that one?
Yeah.
So you have 5 kids. Oh my God.
I
So
don't
we
envy you.
have a small, like, football team.
Right.
Like, But I treat those kids and love those kids just like they're my own, because they really are.
Yeah.
Like, but I play softball outside of the cage. I like to stay active. Extracurriculars are always great. Because I found out that if I don't have an extracurricular and I put 120% of my time into just fighting and training, I veer off the trail. And that's what got me into my break, because I was literally spending 8 hours a day at the gym. And the only break I would get was on Sunday. And that was where I lived. Like, I would bring my food. I'd sit at the gym when they'd close. I'd be training while they're closed. Like, that was where I was.
Man.
100% of the time. And it kind of made me want to take a break because I got kind of tired. And so it's nice to have softball and just the kids. You never know what's going to happen when the kids are around. 'Cause
Sure.
They're super random. Like, Brayden especially is... He's a character. Like, that's all I got to say. He's a character.
Is
you
he
never
your
know.
oldest?
No. Bailey is the oldest. But you never know what's going to come out of Braden's mouth or
Sure.
what he's going to do. Like, he could literally be in public, and we were running around the dollar store with a fart gun behind random people, just...
Good.
Like,
I
that's-
approve of this message.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just how he is. So, I mean, that's my life in a nutshell.
No, and kids keep you young too. Like, I'm just
You
no,
ain't
dude,
got kids, dude.
You're
My
right.
kids.
Well, I mean, I got 12 nieces and nephews. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the oldest one is 20, about to be 21 actually, and the youngest one is 3, I think.
But those you get to take back. Like,
Yeah, you get to
You're
send them back.
absolutely right. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been
postage stamp.
my brother has come
Return
over and
sender.
said, "Hey, you like this child?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is my favorite." And they're like, "Cool, you get to hold on to her for a week. Bye." And just like left my niece here for a week. And I was like, "Well, all right, cool, I guess." But my nephews, you know, whenever they come over and I pick them up and we go do stuff, and even the girls, you know, but they'll come over and they'll be like, "Hey, we want to go do this. I'm like, nope, never done it. Let's see it. And my nephews like me. They call me random because I'll do just about anything they tell me. And I'm like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Let's go nuts. And I have 1,000,001 hobbies. Like I pick something up and hyper fixate on it for like 6 months.
You sound like me.
Yeah. So like I'll slowly transition. The only hobby I have continuously is my comic books. Mm-hmm. And obviously that's been a thing since I was
Not going away.
8. Yeah, if my comic book stuff disappears, like I'm dead. All right? Like somebody is dead. And but no, it's continuously changing it up and always having just something new. You know, softball's great.
Yeah.
I never hit a baseball until I was 21. And like because my friends were like, "Hey, we want to have a baseball game." And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Cool. All right." And they're like, "We're going to go practice." I'm like, "I've never hit a baseball." They're like, "What?" And like softball, same thing. Like I've never done any of that until my friend Kelly showed up in the picture. She was like, "I want to go play softball." I was like, "Yeah, I've never done that before." She was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I've never done it." But I've always been stupid athletic. I like doing things.
Yeah.
And just
You like the wheels though. You like skateboarding and the biking,
BMXing and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm passionate about is, you know, all that silly stuff. And of course right now I'm into my electric longboards and stuff like that. So I've been riding around on those like crazy.
Yeah,
So-
I'm not into breaking my neck anytime soon.
Well then don't break your neck.
Yeah.
Sound like
So-
me. I had like 1,000,001 hobbies until I found my knack at one.
Mm-hmm.
I started selling jewelry. I started like scrapbooking and made it through like one page. I was like, yeah, I'm done. And so I like spent $200 on scrapbook stuff, and I will invest in this stuff. Like,
Sure.
I'm not talking like, oh, $20. No, I'm investing my life savings into this stuff, and then it just collects dust somewhere. And so I started making tumblers, like custom tumblers.
Oh,
And-
okay. Yeah. I was so confused on what you were talking about. I was like, what the fuck's a tumbler?
Yeah, I make the custom cups. You
Yeah,
drink out of,
yeah.
keeps your stuff cold. And now I found my knack because I love doing it, and I think it's probably my knack because I'm like $5,000 invested into the situation
So
right
you
now.
better fucking
and I'm
like
like,
it.
all right, I need to at least profit a little bit before I'm like,
Sure.
put you on a shelf. But like, I love it. I love getting orders. I love people asking me if I can put their kids on a cup. I'm like, yeah.
Go ahead, plug that. Tell them how they can find your business on that.
So if you go to my Instagram is Beauty Barn Boutique. It's all one word. If you go there, you can see all
Barn,
my
BARN.
Beauty Barn,
Okay.
BARN.
Got it.
Beauty Barn Boutique. You can find all my tumblers on there. If you just go to my Facebook, I always just post on my Facebook as well because I've got God knows how many friends on there, and I just here you go. But yeah, you can find me through there. That's the name of my company. So if you ever, you want a cup, just message me on Facebook or Instagram. I'm all for it.
Dude, cups are a booming business right now. I'm telling
True
you what.
story.
It all started because of COVID. COVID made cups happen. I swear. Like, people were in their homes.
I feel like people used cups before COVID.
They used them, but did they decorate the outside? No.
I've had a Batman cup that I take to work with me almost every day.
But it wasn't my Batman cup.
Yeah, it
There's
wasn't-
no
it wasn't-
alcohol inks on it. There's no, like, comic, like,
I mean, it's sitting on the ledge downstairs. I'll go grab it, here in a minute. I'll show you.
Everything's sitting on the ledge here.
Hey, it's on my way out.
You need a goddamn maid.
sitting on the edge
What?
of the sea right now.
Ava's been busy, all right?
So, yeah, like, literally, people were sitting in their houses and they're like, what can I do? Oh, let's put some epoxy on a cup and kill myself with cancer because I don't have a mask on and make cups. So now, here we have tumblers.
I'm gonna check it out.
Fair enough.
You did mention one other thing in like the setting up of the interview. Your canine soldier.
Yeah.
Let's hear
What?
about that a little bit.
So my canine is amazing. He's a service dog.
Okay.
And he's a service dog for PTSD and traumatic trauma. So he's dumb, very dumb, but he's
Is it
the
a German
best-
Shepherd?
Yes, he's a German Shepherd.
See how I knew that?
Uh-huh.
German Shepherds are dumb as fuck, but they're loyal as hell.
Yes, he's very loyal. And he's super easy to train when I have the time to train him. Like, he'd be an amazing, like, savage if I just had the time to put into him every single day. But as far as, like, walking him with a vest and making him sit down in a restaurant, and cuddling me when I need the loves. He's perfect. Like, but he learned it from our old dog Lacey. She was an English Mastiff, and she would put her head between your leg, like you would get a massage. You know, you put your head in the hole.
Yeah.
When she wanted a massage, she'd come over and put her head directly in between your legs, and her ears would flop over, and you knew it was time that she needed a massage. 'Cause
Right.
she'd put her little head in the hole. So he does the same thing. Like, he'll come over, and he'll put his like, when you're sitting in a chair, put his head between your legs, and he'll just sit there. And if you don't massage him, he's, like, not moving until something happens.
Listen, lady.
Like, yeah.
You got a job. You need to do it.
So, I mean, he's awesome. I love him.
All right. Well, one last thing, and that is, I actually found you and was able to reconnect with you over Ray's Energy.
Yeah.
That is how I found your Instagram. So give them your promo code. Tell them what you want to tell them about Ray's Energy and Rep Sports.
Yeah, so I started doing stuff with Rays, and they are, so my promo code, you get 15% off if you go to Rays and use, it's all one word, Sarah MMA. You'll get 15% off your purchase. They've actually been a great energy drink because they have zero sugar. You know, there's their BCAAs for recovery. They have their aminos. I love them. They taste amazing, and you don't crash off of them. I know a lot of drinks they'll put no crash, but legit, these have been probably the only ones. I've had bangs and stuff like that, and you kind of start feeling slummy a little bit. And this one I don't. I can drink it and be fine and not even know that I'm coming down off of it. And I love it. So it'd be a good try. They have protein, everything else you can think of.
I think last Saturday that we recorded, Tyler brought in like 5 or 6 of them, and like I had one, and he gave one to Donnie, my nephew / roommate, and me and Donnie went on we went riding right after that.
Yeah, he messaged
and
me about
Donnie was like
15 minutes later.
He's like, dude, I am so jittery right now. And then we rode, which takes a little bit of energy because you got to make sure you're staying on the board and whatnot. And then like we get to where we were going, and I was like, "How you feeling, Donnie?" He's like, "I'm still shaking." And I was like, "Okay." And then 6 hours later, he's like, "I don't know when, but I stopped shaking." And I was like, "Oh, well, that's good, Don. I'm glad you're okay."
Yeah.
But like this kid lives on Monster. Like I mean, he drinks Monster and water like without anything in between. And he had that, and he was like, "I can't stop moving," which was really funny.
I'm going to plug a Fluffy quote. Monster is not a hydration method, guys. Okay.
True.
He says Mountain Dew. Fluffy says Mountain Dew is not a hydration method. But
You can paraphrase.
but I'm going to paraphrase that. But I mean, yeah, it's great. It helps out anybody that's doing it. It just helps out your local fighter. Helps me out. You know, so yeah.
I'm all about that.
Yeah. Well, my one shout out for the day is Inner Monologue. They're out of the Bay Area in California. They're out of a few other places, but I think that's where they're about centrally located. They were able to identify one of the fighters with you in the Instagram post. So shouts out to y'all. I actually did a show with them a couple weeks ago. They carried me on their back because I had so many technical difficulties that night. Sure.
You know, you can come over here and do it. You know that, right? Like you can just record here, and I can hook you up.
Yeah, but it was a night that I had kids.
Fair. I don't mind Kira.
Yeah, well, you know
Ev-
the little one don't let me out of her sight.
Ev might be a problem child.
Yeah, she's in a gang now, so.
Oh, she in a gang?
She's in a gang now.
The Lollipop Guild?
Yep.
Gang.
Neat.
Yeah, gang.
Plug.
Gang.
I just plugged that. gang.
You got any shout
I
outs
don't know
you
what
want
that
to do?
means.
So, okay. So, now that I went on to the gang, I have to
know what it
tell you.
means. I'm so annoyed about
Okay.
this. Everybody uses it.
So, we went to it was my fight with Maya Stewart. We're walking up to weigh in, and Fluffy's, walking in the door, and smoke comes through the door, and I think it was Maya's brother or somebody that was holding the door. And Fluffy walks through, and he's like, "Thank you." And he goes, "Gang." And Fluffy was like, "Okay, what?" And so he just shrugged it off. I didn't hear it because I'm in like mode. And so we weigh in, take our pictures, and we leave. The kid, super sweet kid, dude, opens the door again, very polite, holds it for Fluff, and Fluffy was like, "Thank you, gang." And it was one of those like head turners, like you have to take a double twist.
Yeah.
And so now it's been like we've been using it as like a sort of response. So like when somebody says something to you and you want to like agree with it, we're like, yeah, gang, gang. So we have no clue.
I've heard it before. Like my nephews use it, and I have to ask them what everything means.
Like the way he responded, we think it means you're welcome. We think because that's kind of the vibe we got off of it. Like,
It's multifaceted.
Sure.
it's our os. Like we say stuff at the gym and it's constantly os. Like when you've said something for way too long. When I'm at softball and my coach says something to me and I'm like, yeah, os, and they're like, what? I'm like, oh, sorry. Okay. But like I think it's their os. Like gang, gang.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Huh. Fair enough.
Don't start saying it, Shorty. It's not gonna suit you.
Gang, gang.
Yeah, oh, no, there it is. No, it works. It works. I love
It
it.
does.
I like it, actually. I retract what I just said. You have to use it now.
I don't know. Terminology that sticks, like every time I start bringing like a new phrase or something like that, it takes me a while.
You're such an old man.
I know, dude. It takes me a while. Like I started using slaps, but I use it ironically just to piss off like my nephew's friends. I'm like, this is what the kids would say, slaps. And they're like, stop doing that!
It's like slides. Those are a White Castle burger, okay?
Right.
Not
What is
the
it?
Slides. The thing.
Shoes.
Sandals. Kids are calling them slides now. You know the little like Nike sandals.
I just lost brain cells.
Yeah, you slide your
you
foot
slide
in.
your
Slides.
feet in. No,
That's
they're
dumb as fuck. It
sandals.
They make flip-flop. 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 That's the sound they make, stupid.
All right, well, I think that's all the time we got today. Do you have any shout-outs real quick, Sarah?
Yeah, I want to shout out to my team, of course, George Gurgel Mixed Martial Arts Center. We do have locations in Westchester, Lebanon, Monroe, and we also just got a new one in Middletown. So we're
Lot of Cincinnati-based.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then also, Coach Halsey, Jake Halsey is fighting today at B2. I want to say congrats and good luck to him today. So Fluffy and George are out there right now with him. So
Dope.
good luck, Jake.
Awesome.
Sweet.
That's all. I've actually heard a lot of good things recently about B2. But anyways, that's it. That's all we got for you today.
Okay.
So in the meantime,
In the betweens time.
if it's free, it's for me. Unless it's herpes. You can keep that. Cue the music. We out.
Oh, shit.